Zach Moss.
And I'm AJ Fenney.
And this is
Hippie?
Not Hippie. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 40 of Hippie Not Hippie.
There we go.
That was unique. I like that.
The laughs you hear, we've got two guests in the studio today.
Double trouble.
Yeah. We have comedian BK Sharad here.
What up?
Woo! And then fisherman Eeland Stribling.
When you said comedian BK Sharad, I was like, I'm not going to be a comedian.
Yeah, for sure. I don't have anything else going on.
Yeah,
you know?
water
So,
boy.
yeah.
They call me water sports man.
I like they call me Water Boy.
Water boy's
man.
good. Yeah.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
No, thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah, thanks for getting up early.
Yeah, we were just chatting. You guys just launched a podcast of your own.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's literally the enthusiasm.
Yeah,
of,
that's
like,
the different levels of enthusiasm about it.
So it was all my idea.
Yes.
And I literally did everything,
Well,
set up everything.
yeah. And I just show up with Sammy Anser.
Yeah.
And we just talk. What do we talk about in the first couple episodes?
The first episode was really funny.
Yes.
Like we just roasted each other. We had like a really good time just saying just crazy shit.
Friendship.
And the second episode was really deep.
Yeah.
Where like we were talking about like existential like, art stuff.
Now, yeah.
Yeah.
And trauma, depression.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
So is it just you three get together and talk every week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And then I think we're
what's
gonna
it
have
called?
like so far it's called the Dogcast.
Or
DAWG
what is this
cast.
podcast about?
Yeah.
Podcast.
We don't really have
Oh,
a name
man.
yet.
When Zach and I started this one, we were 5 episodes in before we even had a name.
Yeah. So I guess maybe that's what it is. We've only recorded 2 episodes so far.
So we have to
maybe
figure out what the energy is,
Yeah.
what the vibe is.
Yes, and so far you have funny and deep.
Yeah.
Yes. So the Funny and Deep podcast.
So, man, by
Funny, ooh.
that third, fourth one, you're going to have a name.
Yeah. And probably
It's like
conspiracy
funny,
theories
deep, and
stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. 2 talls and a short is
Two
pretty.
talls and a
I like-
short.
I-
I
Yeah.
do like that a lot.
I only hate it because it's at the expense of me, but
It's not the
it's a
ex-
good name. Yeah.
It's not the expense of you.
Yeah, genetics is genetics, man.
I
No, it
know,
was two
but
two talls and a knot.
Yeah. I
Oh,
know.
yeah, 2 talls and a knot.
So you
I'm
really
tall for an
Because you're not
Indian guy,
tall.
though.
Yeah. Are you? I
Yeah.
feel like I've seen
I'm
some
a-
tall Indian guys.
Yeah, but not a lot of them. Well, first of all, we don't see a lot of them.
I guess
here,
that's
but-
true. Yeah, I feel like I see mostly tall ones, or like long, elongated, maybe not tall.
I mean,
Wait, what do you mean by elongated?
just
Yeah. What do you mean by
like
that?
stretched and thin. Not maybe not too tall, but not like short and chubby.
I know what you're saying because they don't seem tall. They do.
This is a
seem
very
stretched.
tall, thin person.
Yeah.
I feel like you've seen like religious people in meditative practice.
They have those spines.
I saw
bro.
like a.
Their spines.
Yeah, their spines are elongated.
I saw a ton of tall Indians the other day. I was watching Indian basketball. And
What?
What? Well, you
Yeah,
said
yeah,
what?
yeah. Where were we? What? Like people playing at the park or like?
Also, what is Indian basketball? Is it different? What are the rules?
No, it's the same. It's just basketball in India.
Well, you.
They have basketball in India.
Do they?
So yeah, it's an Asian people.
I have no
love
idea. This is the
basketball.
first I'm
Yeah?
hearing about
Yeah.
it. Was it like the Indian
Yeah,
team?
I gamble on everything.
So, is this like World Cup or is it like?
No, I was just making that shit up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
One thing you'll realize quickly about Zach, he'll drop a fact and you go,
Yeah.
that's fucking crazy. And then when
Yeah.
you want to deep dive it, he goes, I'm lying.
But they
No, I
definitely
love
have
that, though, yeah.
basketball in India.
Yes, they
Well,
do,
I'm sure
yeah.
they do, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, they got basketball in a lot of places. But
and they're probably tall. I would assume so.
I think so because
What if they're not tall? What if the basket's just shorter?
Yeah.
they should do that?
So it's like
Yeah.
instead it's like a 7-foot basket. And
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
they're just dunking on each
Yeah.
other.
What
That's a good
about
idea.
that? Where there's a game with the lowest basket, so that the shorter you are, the more of an advantage it is.
Yeah.
That'd be a really fun league to watch. I would
Yeah.
watch a league of short basketball, like where the basket.
That's
is short.
called middle school basketball.
Oh, okay. I'd go watch middle school
Yeah, they
basketball.
like
Is
I'd,
there-
lower the
I'd
hoops.
gamble on that too.
Is there
That's when I
hold
played
on.
professionally.
Is there little people basketball?
Oh, probably. I saw a basketball.
Well, there's a
league.
little person on the Harlem Globetrotters.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it the ball?
Jesus Christ.
Okay, sorry.
No, yeah.
Is he the ball? I should have said not it the ball.
No, he's got like crazy moves where he'll just take it through somebody's legs.
Yeah, and people love it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
People love it.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, we can't make fun.
Look
of
at the
him, but
not
people
tall
love it.
guy.
Yeah,
He's killing it.
Who do they play? Is it a whole league?
They play the Washington
focused on them?
Generals.
So every game is just them versus the Washington
Yeah,
Generals.
they've been coming up a lot lately in the podcast.
That is a fact.
actually, but,
I for like 4 or 5 years, I went to every single time they came to Denver.
Really?
My mom like took me to see him.
I've never been. I'd go.
It's fun. It's fun. It's just like
I've never been.
It's like a performance.
But I
they
went-
like
I
do
went
different
I went
stuff.
last year with a bunch of with Sam T really likes the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah.
So I went
Obviously,
with him
look at
last
him.
year and a bunch of people. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks fun, but yeah, so that's just so weird. So just every game is just them versus the Washington Generals.
Yeah,
and
but
like
it's a
the
performance.
Generals are
It's
like the
them doing
heels.
a
It's like
musical.
wrestling.
Yeah.
It's not.
No, and when you go, every little kid there is just like a little version of little Sam T running around with the big old candy.
Cane?
No, what's
Cotton
the
candy?
Lollipop?
Cotton candy?
Cotton
Yeah.
candy.
Wearing short shorts.
Yeah.
I'm like fabric candy,
Textured candy.
string candy.
I just imagine.
weaved candy.
Yeah.
My
I
brain
wanna-
is going through like all these.
I just imagine Sam Talent eats cotton candy in one slug. He just goes, all right, this one. And then there's another one.
And just sucks out the paper with
Yeah.
it. Just,
Just puts it in an ashtray.
I love cotton candy so much.
But it was a good
Same.
time. Yeah.
It's just sugar clothes.
Yeah, I like
So you
watching
went
it be
for four,
spun.
You went for 4 years in a row. Did you ever see them lose?
No, they don't lose.
Yeah, they don't lose.
They
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they
They've
like
lost over 400 games.
seriously.
Really?
Yeah, but
Really?
they've won over 10,000.
Yeah. I don't think I saw any of the
So like,
losses.
yeah, that was what came up on the last. Michael Turner was like, they never lose, and I'm
Yeah.
like, bullshit. They've lost once. I said they lost once,
Yeah.
and then we looked it up, and they've lost like 438 times.
That's crazy.
But they've been around forever.
Well,
Yeah.
I think they make when I was watching, they like make like if they make shots, the other team
Yeah.
goes up, and then they start playing like all these games and stuff, and the Harlem Globetrotters go up by like 20 in like
Yeah.
2 minutes.
But is that like
Because they blindfold the ref.
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
are
They
those
also
games really
have a s-
somber?
Somber.
Like the games that they lose, is the crowd very like, what's happening? How is this happening? Like,
The theme song is no longer a whistle. It's
Yeah.
more like brr, brr, brr.
yeah.
I told my boy this is the best fucking basketball team on the goddamn planet, and I take them here. I get front row seats, and they fucking lose.
Yeah.
Just like children's and adults also all losing hope in humanity. Just like, this is the one thing. They always win, and
The
they're
Harlem
losing.
Globetrotters.
Yeah. Maybe life isn't that good.
It's like
Yeah.
Captain Planet, but for basketball.
That is
like-
Yeah.
not a solid make a wish.
Yeah. Bro.
now that there's a hole, like you're
want my
like,
jersey?
what did they lose?
No.
no.
Get that jersey away from me.
Were you gonna? I'm gonna be buried in a loser's jersey.
I just like it. Two sad sacks at like a country bar at like 7 a.m. First
Yeah.
call when they open. They're like, "Oh yeah, well there's a car accident. Killed my wife and my kid. I think I'm the most unlucky son of a bitch there is." And the other guy's like, "Oh yeah, I seen the Trotters lose."
I'm sorry, sir. Let me buy you a drink.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's really got to be a bummer because you expecting like I went to medieval times and like, dude, they had a weird like, have you been to medieval times?
No.
Like the actual time period?
No,
or
like the restaurant.
Oh.
Dude, it's so sick. So they do
It's
like,
like, so wait,
I like how Eeland's like, wait, you have a time machine?
yeah.
Is that episode 3 of the podcast?
maybe you should call your podcast BK's fucking time machine. Holy shit, BK has a fucking time machine.
Dude, but it's so weird because usually the storylines are just like, oh, it's the king's dinner and they're fighting, and
Yeah.
then like the time that I went last, the storyline revolved around one of the knights getting kicked in the dick.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was so weird. So our knight kicked another knight in the dick, and we all were just like, boo! Oh
man.
Because usually you go and you cheer for your knight to win, but we all were like, fuck our dick kicking knight, he fucking sucks. We don't want a guy who does bullshit like that. And then the queen or whatever, she was like, what do we do with him? And it was
Cut his dick off.
Well, it was crazy. The whole audience, like children, adults, Republicans, liberals, everyone was just like, kill him, kill him. And you could tell that wasn't in the script because the lady was just like, we wouldn't like to shed blood on the king's birthday today. So
How about we make him drink a Dr. Pepper? He doesn't like Dr. Pepper 'cause it's from the future.
yeah, what is he, Eeland?
I just like the idea
hate
of
Dr.
the
Pepper.
You
whole.
hate Dr. Pepper?
Isn't that
Dr.
crazy?
Pepper.
You like Mr. Pibb?
No,
I'm just checking.
no.
So it's not. It has nothing to do with the name. It's with the flavor.
Yeah,
of
it
the-
just it had, the first taste. You're like, this is, and then after you say that, you're like, this is gross.
You had vanilla Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, I've had vanilla. I've had the cherry. I've tried them all, and I don't like them.
Have you had it with Everclear?
Yeah, have you gotten hammered before?
Yeah,
You've been hammered?
Yeah.
I'm hammered right now.
Dr. Hammered.
I have one more question about this, like dick kicking night.
Yeah, please.
Also, the way you set that up, I was imagining that the whole crowd was just chanting "Let's go, Brandon" until until someone kicked the knight in the dick, and then they were like, "Wait, there's something worse than Joe Biden."
Well, it like solved like racism in that moment.
Well, it
Everyone
does-
was-
Yeah,
I-
that's what brought everyone together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the way the story was told was definitely like, we have a lot of problems in our country, in the
Yeah.
world, but they just show one night kicking another night in the dick,
Yeah.
and the world just comes together.
Yeah, dick kicking's fucking hilarious.
I know,
What's
dude.
surprising to me is that no one was on team dick kick.
Well,
Because I feel like if
hold
I was
on.
there and everybody was like, "Yeah, fuck, we're on the team of the guy who got kicked in the balls," I'd be like, "I'm on team dick kicker."
Well, right, but and I know this story's been told, but you kicked your uncle in the dick.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why you're on Team Dick Kick. Because
Well-
you're a dick kicker.
Been one since a little boy.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
wondering, I was like, why is he defending the dick kicker? I was like, oh, he is one.
This
He's
is why I
defending
don't
his
go to the
people.
spa. If I see a dick,
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I'm gonna kick it.
Well, no, there's like a time when my I was like getting laughs as a kid. Out of
Yeah. Oh,
everybody.
for sure, yeah.
And then I like reached a point where like I didn't have anything else. In
You
my
need something
act.
new.
I needed,
Yeah,
well, and
yeah.
I
You need a
needed
new bit.
I needed a
Yeah.
closer.
Classic dick kick.
And my uncle was standing there just with his unguarded dick. And I just booted him right in the dick. And
Oh my god.
It crushed.
Yeah.
No,
Crushed
it
those
didn't.
nuts.
Oh, it didn't?
No, I got in so much trouble, and like everything
Oh, that's
turned where
crazy.
he's like sat me down. He's like, "That's never funny."
Yeah.
Like it'll unite a whole fucking medieval times.
Yeah. Because I thought, see, an uncle dick kick, I was like, that could work. Because like the relationship with an uncle is always like, that's that goofy
Straight-
guy. And he's
Yeah,
insane.
or goofy, or
Yeah.
you're just alcoholic.
I will say this.
But I got him good. I really
You
kicked
squared
him.
off.
Yeah,
You
I
squared
squared.
off.
I kicked
Yeah.
him right
Was
in
it
the
the
beans.
top of the foot going in where the tip of the toe
Oh my
hit the
god!
taint? Like that's a
Yeah.
solid.
Or was
like,
it? Or was it the flat? Was it the flat?
Did you lift him
nuts?
up?
He gasped and crumbled.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that's.
So
Was it, how old are you?
I was like 6 or 7.
Okay.
So
That's like a pretty solid kick. Like a size, like, 2 shoe.
Yeah.
No, it's like a size 3 or 4.
Well, look,
You're gonna
I'm
take a
not,
2
I'm
to
not
the
tall,
2.
So.
Yeah,
let's
Yeah.
fight over kids.
Also,
I used to work at a shoe store, so I know kids' feet.
Oh.
I also will say
Glad
that
that you added that in there. I was just like, damn, Eeland knows a lot about kids.
being kicked in the dick doesn't seem as bad as being kicked in the balls. Like when I think about being kicked in the balls, I literally it takes my breath away.
Yeah,
I mean, when I'm saying kicked in the dick, we're counting.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
yeah.
but-
For
but
me, they
I'm just-
come together.
The whole,
They do
the whole
come together,
company.
but if you had
Yeah,
no
mine are
balls
attached.
and someone kicked me in the dick, I'd be like, "Yeah, it's a good one."
Yeah, it'd probably give me an erection a little bit.
So yours is what you're saying is like so with yeah. So with kicking in the dick, it's like so you're hard, and then you know those taekwondo little.
Well, I don't have
pads?
to be hard to take a kick to the dick. I just have to not have the two guys.
Hanging out.
Yeah,
I see.
I got to be able to tuck those guys back.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see
You
now.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Separation of church and state.
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure. Yeah.
separation of church and state.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which one's the
Exactly.
church?
Church and taint.
Yeah.
Yeah, separation of church and taint.
Yeah. If you had to pick one, which is the church and which is the state?
Are we going left and right, or are we talking shaft and balls?
Oh, we're going. If we're going left and right, left is the state for sure, and right
Yeah.
is the church.
Yeah. Well,
Have you ever been kicked in the balls?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I went to middle
I
school.
want to be honest though.
Yeah.
The way you said it when you were like, "Oh yeah," and I was like, "Fuck, you pay for it on the weekends."
I literally thought back to the last time I was kicked severely hard in the balls, and it was in middle school.
Yeah.
And it fucked me up.
Oh, dude. I had a grade school kick. I'll never forget the swing set, and her name was Holly. And
Praise God.
yeah, oof, man, she got me so good that I went, ha! I put the hand up and I went down. Everyone went back into recess. And if there was a window you could look out, it was just me going, come on, we can go.
Yeah, Holly sounds like she's a hairdresser now for sure.
Yeah, well, Holly the dick kicker.
As an adult, only punched in the balls.
Yeah. We all give each other a tap.
Oh, taps.
Yeah.
But
No,
like a
tap-
solid punch?
A tap sometimes hurt worse. Like if you get just the ball, like the concentrated ball.
You get the concentrated ball.
Yeah, like
you got an ADD ball and one that is highly focused.
Yeah, okay.
No, go for it.
No, I was just gonna
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it. Send it.
Yeah.
I like send it.
I just had a friend that he punched me in the balls he tapped me, but it was like it was aggressive.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
It was aggressive, and it fucked me up. And I waited 2.5 years
Whoa.
to get him back.
Oh yeah, you plotted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and when I got him back,
And you saw opportunities in that 2 years, but you're like, no.
no, there's gonna be a better one. I waited for the exact right moment.
Yeah?
What was it?
He was so
when
relaxed.
when he was getting married.
Oh, dude, no, I
Is he about to come?
I fucking knocked those nuts so fucking, dude. He crumbled.
Into his ass.
Oh yeah. No, I felt them fucking smacking his ass.
You heard him?
Yeah.
Like, you know those things at people's offices with the ball?
Or like when you're at the carnival and you slam the hammer on the thing.
And it goes,
boop.
bing. That's funny.
But what were you gonna say, BK?
Just it sucks getting flicked in the nuts too.
Yeah, sometimes I'll give guys a brush by, you know?
Oh yeah, you do that.
What
That's
do you mean
your
a
move.
brush bite?
Just a fondle.
So back a hand or front of hand?
back of hand.
Okay. Back
You
a
go front
hand.
sometimes too.
Just like a,
Yeah.
Back a hand seems less sexual than the palm.
yeah.
Sometimes Eeland's hand has felt like, you know when you go to the grocery store and there's a scale that you put the fruits on?
Yeah.
Like I feel like my nuts are the grapefruits and like his hand is a little
Yeah.
scale.
Like he's
the
testing.
I want you to feel a little bit of fear, but without actually, you know, because if someone goes back a hand over, you're like, oh.
I think some people
So
would
it's almost
call
like,
you.
so you lightly touch them where you pick them up a little bit and just go, checkmate.
Hey, just seeing if you're okay today.
Yeah. Are you awake? You're late for work.
That's a new one. The light lift.
The light lift. We've heard of the light rail.
just a little the lift.
Yeah.
It's like when you're presenting wine and you have that towel.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like,
Yeah.
hey.
Yeah.
Oh man. You don't want to accidentally call that lift.
No.
Guy just shows up wondering.
Yeah.
You the Lyft driver?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. There we go. All right, it's $32.50.
Yeah.
What?
So
Where do we go from here?
well, getting into some hippie stuff.
Yeah.
I know Eeland spends a fair amount of time in nature.
Yeah, I've never done mushrooms.
Yeah.
See, I'm a drug
ever?
hippie, not an outside hippie.
I've never done mushrooms. I've tried a bunch, especially in the last like 3 months.
You've tried to do them, but you've never gotten anything.
Yeah. One time I saw the color red. That was real vibrant for about 30 seconds, and that was it.
And then you're like, wait, I'm at a stoplight.
Yeah.
Have you,
I am walking down the street, and that was a stoplight. Yeah, I'm
So
walking in the middle of the road.
you're eating mushrooms and they're not working.
I'm not working.
How many have you eaten?
Little chocolate square.
Don't do
little
the chocolates, man.
squares.
I'm very anti mushroom chocolate.
Yeah, I've done like the little chocolate square. I've done like a half a square because I was like, let's see how this goes. Because people tell me it's gonna like fix you, and I'm like, I don't want to get fixed. I just want to have a good time. Then I ate a whole square. Then I ate 2 squares, and then I ate 2 squares and a half, and nothing. Nothing is nothing.
All from the same chocolate bar?
Yeah.
You got ripped off.
So I'm thinking there's still like a half a chocolate bar left. I'm thinking all of it.
That might be the way to go.
Second half of the chocolate bar.
Set up a camping trip. If not, I
tried to.
I know where to get these things called steel magnolias, and they are gnarly.
Isn't that a movie?
It is a movie.
Oh.
That's why they call it that, because you're gonna.
But
cry.
these are supposed to like, they're supposed to just blast you to the moon. They're
Are they
really
actual
strong.
mushrooms or they're chocolates?
No, they're actual mushrooms.
Yeah,
And some
see-
of them are gnarly.
Yeah.
And a guy who takes them pretty regularly, he does tea for microdosing and creative outlet. And he goes, I did my dose. And he goes, about 15, 20 minutes into it, I was like, yeah, it's coming on. I'll start drawing. And then an hour, he was like, uh-oh. And
Yeah.
he goes, dude, it felt like LSD. He goes, there were visuals. Everything was intense. And then the roommates came home and he goes, oh, I'm not ready for normal people to be here.
Well,
See, I don't want that.
some people don't have an enzyme in their liver to like break down THC. So like for some people, edibles don't work at all. And at first I was like, oh, holy shit, is Eeland the first person I met that doesn't have an enzyme that breaks down psilocybin?
Yeah.
And now I'm like, no, you just got a bunk ass chocolate bar.
Yeah, the chocolate
No, I'm
bars.
immune to mushrooms.
No, I've tried the chocolate bars so many times.
If you're immune, we can try an experiment right now.
Those albino Averys are great.
Oh yeah, I got.
So you start slow with those, and then the thing about mushrooms too is like if you start slow and then give it a little bit of time and see if you feel uplifted, and if not, you can take a little bit more, and then an hour after that, at some point you can kind of keep bumping.
Yeah.
You're just at the point that you're going, I don't know if I should be staring at the stoplight. You might want to stop eating them.
Yeah.
And driving.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, stop
Yeah.
driving.
well,
Call
yeah,
a Lyft driver.
Yeah, I wanted just to do them because I needed something new in life. I was bored. I wasn't drinking and anything, and now, and I was like, but people keep telling me they're like, oh, if you take them, they're gonna like, you're gonna like talk to God and fix out all your
that's
problems.
bullshit.
And I don't want to do that. I just want to like
You gotta-
see colors crazy
So
for a
that's
little
the
bit.
thing
If you
about-
want to talk to God, you got to eat a fucking shitload of mushrooms.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't wanna
statistically,
fix
that
myself.
heroic dose is 5+ dried grams, which is excessive, and you're gonna throw up.
Yeah, I don't
That's
want
for sure.
I just want to feel light and good for like
Yeah,
a few
dude.
hours.
Just work your way up with
Yeah,
the microdose.
I think
and-
if you had about a half, an eighth, or even an eighth, and then you went out, had yourself a nice little camp spot, took maybe one, and did some fly fishing.
That's what I've tried to do.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, those rainbow trout,
Yeah, dude.
you're gonna be catching rainbows, man.
That's what I want. That's what I try to do, but it never. Every time I do it, I'm like,
You gotta stop the
So-
chocolates, dude. You gotta do actual mushrooms.
in reality, the world sells psychedelics as much more crazy and intense than they are. The world sells psychedelics like, oh, when you eat them, you blast off into some crazy fucking cartoon. And
Yeah, I don't wanna
everything's
do that.
Like
Not that you
shit-
can't.
You could if you eat enough.
that shit.
It's like,
But to do that, like you're eating a shitload. Like to
or
get
you're
to
really
that
sensitive.
to get to that point with like acid, you're eating like over 10 hits of acid.
Yeah.
usually.
Not necessarily.
I mean,
I'm very
But for-
sensitive.
where
where
Maybe
the
for you,
world
that's the thing.
where the
Emotionally.
world looks like a fucking cartoon.
I have had
I mean-
high trips when I was younger.
Yeah,
at
same.
like 2 or 3
I ate 11.5 grams one time.
of mushrooms.
yeah,
Yeah,
BK used to be
that'll do it.
fat
That's
and
fucking
addicted to
nuts.
drugs.
I like the idea. You're like, BK used to be fat, and I was like, how'd you get fat? I was eating psychedelic mushrooms.
Yeah,
and I was.
was getting so many calories because I was eating like 11.5 grams every day.
You were the stoned ape theory.
Yeah. Dude, you know what's crazy? But you're right though, because I ate 11.5 grams one time, but that didn't hit me as hard as an eighth, or sorry, 2.5.
Yeah.
Of some other mushrooms I got was.
I think sometimes it's strain, and honestly, I really think it's sensitivity. Like,
Yeah.
if you're really hyper aware of your body and how things change, some people can do light amounts of things and they recognize the change in their body and that atmosphere. I mean, what was it? Ram Dass did. I mean, he did mushrooms the first time with Tim Leary, and he talks about, and I just realized this whole thing of like becoming nobody,
Yeah.
that movie was the first time he did mushrooms, the conversation was too intense in the kitchen. So he went and sat down on the couch and started contemplating all these things. And he looked down, and when he looked down, all he saw was a couch. Like he'd lost his body.
Yeah.
And I've heard that story several times, but only now did I put it together where that whole documentary about Be Nobody. But
So I've definitely had hallucinations and I've seen things, but as far as like the world being like a cartoon,
Oh yeah.
but I don't understand what you're saying with that.
I'm saying that like that all of a sudden the world is animated.
Oh yeah. You never had that?
That the whole world is animated in a cartoon all of a sudden?
Not like
You might
fully
be
cartoon.
immune. You might be immune to hallucinations.
Yeah. So
No,
like,
I've had plenty of hallucinations. I mean, like I told you, I fucking thought that woman's head was a fucking cat. You know,
Yeah.
I fucking saw stairs. I saw them setting up carnival rides that weren't there, but it wasn't. But they were all like real hallucinations. Like my world never turned into a cartoon world. And yes, I've seen colors and acid patterns and movements
okay.
and flowing and stuff, but I've never seen like where it's like, oh, AJ looks like he is drawn.
you're saying,
And the way that
Okay.
like in movies that they try to portray it, I
Yeah.
feel like is that like when you eat hallucinogens, and also to get those visuals that I had, I was on large amounts of
Yeah.
hallucinogens and usually combined with other drugs. Like there was ketamine and mescaline involved that
Yeah.
night, and ecstasy and LSD.
Yeah.
And fucking I was smoking opium. So it's like, I mean, and weed. So I mean, there's a lot going on the crazy hallucination nights, and a lot of times mescaline was involved, but where I saw a lot of shit. On acid, it was usually more just like patterns and movements and maybe melting things or, like seeing like a color, like the acid pattern that you see that overlays. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of hallucinations that are common between people, like the tracers. Like when you see something move, it's like there's more shit behind
Well, that's
it.
always been a thing where when I was younger, it would always be like we would do this to test if we were tripping. And then when it went, you're like, okay, I'm the $1 million man. This is happening.
Yeah, so tracers are
Yeah.
like a common hallucination that I feel like a lot of people see. There's like an acid pattern that I've talked to a lot of people and like that you see that kind of just sits lightly, like a color pattern that sits lightly on top of just the world that you're in.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like a grid.
Yeah,
Like the
or like if
fractals.
you look
Yeah.
if you look at like maybe a ceiling or something, there's like movement
Yeah.
or dripping or
Breathing.
Yeah, I don't want
Breathing's the one. Yeah. I had now,
but it's not as
necessarily cartoons. but
aggressive as you would think it is.
I was working on a clay mask on 2 gel tabs of purple acid that we had gotten in Leavenworth, and I was probably like 19 years old. And I just started working this with no real outcome idea.
yeah.
And I'll never forget worms, like these little green worms would crawl all over where I needed to carve. And then I would carve them out, and then I'd look, and the worms would go to another place, and I'd carve those out. It was the most fascinating piece I ever had. Like, it was really beautiful. I wish I still had it, but...
Well, and any of the 2Cs have
Oh
made
my
me
God,
hallucinate a lot too.
That's
Like,
2CB?
the worst. I did 2CI a lot.
I've done 2CB, 2CI, and 2CE, and yeah,
What the fuck are you guys talking about?
That's a crazy
Yeah.
hallucinogen.
I'm having like a
Yeah.
panic even. Dude, I had I used to sell weed when I was like 18. And one of my like
Eeland, we're going to get to fishing soon.
That's okay. We don't have to talk about
and one of my friends, he like was selling like so much 2CI to like all of Dallas. And
Was
I
it
remember-
legit? Because I've heard there's a
Dude.
lot of fake.
Yeah,
like
it was
2CI and 2CB.
It was fucked up, man. Like the couple times I've
And
done
that drug
like,
is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we had a guy come over who bought weed for me, and then he was just like he was really cool. He bought like some weed and he's like, "Hey, is it cool if I smoke this here?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude." And then we all just got super baked. We're hanging out. He's like, "Is it cool if I like bring over some girls to hang out?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, for sure." Then he like they bring
Is
over
it cool to
some
like
beer,
lift your balls real quick?
dude. Literally, and he brought like beer, and I was like, dude, I love this guy. And then we were like, you should hang out with us tonight. And he was like, do you want to trip with us? And so we give him some 2CI.
Oh,
I
no.
see the pile that my friend gives him, and I remember looking
When
at
you
it
say
being
a pile, like
it's
how
like-
is
so
it
he
a
had
powder
this-
form?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's usually
Yeah.
in capsules or powder.
and he put it on the scale, and I was like, that's way too much. But I was like, he wouldn't give him too much, you know?
Oh,
And then-
because drug dealers are honest.
yeah, but I was like, he was just giving it to us. I was like, yeah. And so the kid takes all of it, and there's one moment where just like 35 people showed up to my apartment just like to party for a little bit and then left. And I think one of the guys that came is a motorcycle salesman. And so that kid rode in on a motorcycle. Well, so he thought that guy was like selling his motorcycle, like the motorcycle he rode in on.
The
So-
guy on 2CI.
Yeah, so he started panicking and was trying to leave, and I was just like, all right, I'll see you later, dude. And then he was like, he was kind of like, he looked really weird, and I was like, oh, dude, you're tripping. You should just hang out and chill for a little bit.
Yeah.
And so it was a lot of like, he was trying to leave, and I was like, just hang out, man. You're good. It's all good. And finally he goes, hey, I got to take this phone call real quick. I was like, all right. And then we're hanging out.
This is cell phone time, right? Because I remember in the 90s, someone was like, I got to take a call. And I'm like,
no, this is cell phone times. He steps out the front door. And I'm like, it's weird he's going out the front door. And then I walk out to the balcony and I just see him wobble off on his motorcycle.
oh.
And like, there was one point he goes, where am I? So like, I was
On the motorcycle?
like, before he left. So, he didn't know where he was. And then he gets on a motorcycle, fucking rides home.
Did you do heroin?
No, dude, 2CI is fucked up.
What
dude.
is 2CI?
It's a Chinese research chemical.
Yeah, it's a research chemical, and it's so how it was described to me before I did it is that it was like LSD and ecstasy combined. And I had done both those drugs together, and so how I got it is I had a friend who came back from Bali, and he had 3 different pills, right? They were all, some were 2CE, some were 2CI, and whatever. But
So these are like the government names, like the sign, like
they're the scientific acronyms for them. So
And at the time, they were illegal because they weren't anything. So, like, if you tested it, like, got pulled over and they tested it, you would just say it's like yeast flour or something like that.
yeah, they didn't know what.
Well,
the
they
fuck
still
it
have
was.
that. It's quote unquote designer drugs at this point where they're not.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're all designer drugs. They're made in a lab. Like MDMA is a designer drug. Like I take this shit and I take the one with the littlest amount of powder in it because it's like a fucking Tuesday or something. And I just got these from, my buddy or whatever. And I'm like, I could do a little fun trip tonight or whatever. I'll take the little one. And I take it and I'm like, this shit's bunk after an hour because nothing's happening. Because for me, it takes like 2 hours for that shit to kick in, which is a weird time frame for drugs because usually it's an hour. So I take it and an hour goes by and I'm like, this shit's bunk. Fucking whatever. And I'm so glad I didn't take any of the other ones because about an hour 30, I start to feel it a little bit and I feel it in my body. And I'm like, whoa, this feels like, because I feel like the hallucinogen, or the acid body high, if you're tripping really hard, it almost feels like there's like the world, you feel the pressure of the oxygen in the air on your body almost. Like, it's like you just feel like this kind of pressure everywhere. And on 2CB, it's fucking intense, like to the point where like there's times where I'd be like rolling around on the ground, like because it's like very intense fucking body high.
And we're a mile high.
But I laid down on my bed and was like, whoa, I'm kind of starting to feel the body high, and then I saw like kind of some acid patterns and I was like, okay, cool, this is kind of like acid. And then I saw the paint actually start to like drip like it would a little bit on acid, and then I saw it actually like start to run off my ceiling, and then it was hitting these invisible planes in the air where it would start to pool, the white paint would pool, and then it would start to overflow down and it would hit another pane and pool, and then like this is happening like all around me with the paint running down and pooling and then running down and pooling, and then it just started to run like all over me, and I was like, holy shit, this is not like acid. Like this is not like fucking acid at all. This drug is crazy.
It's fucked, dude.
How long did it last?
12,
Yeah,
14
so
hours,
long,
like
dude.
fucking
What?
yeah, dude. Like
I didn't have a job at the time or I wouldn't have been doing this, but like we used to just take
But
a
that's
bunch of
even-
2CI.
even with
anytime
LSD
I
now, it's
took
like-
the other ones, I was drunk. That was the only
Yeah.
way that I could like get the courage up to do that drug again. Like, cause it was it's fucking crazy.
I think all that stuff, a lot of times it's time and place. Like set and setting is so important
Yeah.
with that stuff.
I would just take psychedelics anytime someone offered them to me. And like, dude, 2CI was the worst one. Like, it was just like, but we were doing it so much that we started to like kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
And so we would all just like, we had a wheelchair in my apartment for some reason, and I don't know why.
You just got that out of a time portal.
like,
When you're really peaking on 2CI,
Yeah.
like walking is not
Yeah.
fun. You don't want to walk. I don't know. Like,
So we had this wheelchair and we used to just like do wheelies in it, just like tripping balls, just talking and just like doing wheelies and being like, dude, this is crazy, man. And like we one time went on a walk and it was crazy. It was so scary. And we were walking, there was like a little creek.
Yeah.
There was a glowing blue light coming from the creek. And it was one of those things where we like, like those concrete, it's like super steep. So we like made a human chain because I was like, you guys see this glowing blue light coming from the water, right? And they're like, yeah. And then the whole time I was just like, if this is like a cell phone and there's a dead body in there, I'm gonna be so mad at you guys. I'm gonna be so fucking mad. And they like held my hands, like, we made a human chain, grabbed in there. It was a Blue Man Group drumstick that was glowing. I know, dude. It couldn't have been a weirder thing to find, man. And we find it. I'm like, what the fuck is this, dude? I wish it was a dead body because that makes way more sense than a Blue Man Group drumstick that is on in this fucking like who? Why is this
In
here?
Dallas?
So it's
Yeah,
on.
dude.
So it's battery powered?
Yes. And it's just on.
Okay, so
in
it wasn't
the
just something
water.
that glued from the sun.
Yeah.
I now understand it was a battery powered thing
Yes.
because I was like, oh, you just had a Blue Man's drumstick? That
No,
was-
it's a Blue Man Group drum. It's glowing blue.
Were they in town?
No, I looked it up afterwards. They hadn't been in town for like 3 years or
just
something.
showed
like
up
that.
with the wheelchair.
I have no, yeah, and the wheelchair I think we found too. So we just had found
wow.
a fucking wheelchair and a Blue Man Group drumstick they fucking found, dude. 2CI is fucked.
Yeah, because it's like the only logical explanation is that somehow this drug managed to open a portal and a Blue Man drumstick fell into the river there.
I like the idea of a Blue Man, like they're doing this and they're ending, and he just goes, do, 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 do. Throws
Yeah,
the
dude.
drumstick, drifts through a portal, and you're like,
Because why the fuck is it a Blue Man Group drumstick?
I don't know, but I think you were supposed to be a Blue Man. Like you were chosen.
Yeah, I think that means like you grab it and then you become like
Yeah,
the next blue.
It's like a very
Have you
He-Man
ever-
type thing.
Have you had any other Blue Man like coincidences in your life?
I heard they have huge dicks.
Have you had blue balls?
I have.
Okay.
He has
We're
them
getting
right now.
somewhere.
Yeah, I still like honestly I forgot about that story, and now that I'm even talking about it, I'm still mad because like
What'd you do with the drumstick?
we just kept it. We had this game that we used to play. It was called Keep It Forever, where we would hand.
Well, that's called being a hoarder.
Yeah.
It's not a game.
There's a show about that now.
Well, no, but the game would be like we would hand someone something, right? Or if there's someone who's holding something, it'd be like keep it forever. And so
You
we
have
had,
to
like-
keep it forever.
Yeah, so we had like
While you're tripping,
yeah, it was yeah.
so much pressure.
So we had there was stuff like I gave someone a cigarette and I was like keep it forever. He's like, how am I supposed to keep the cigarette forever? I was like, that's for you to figure
Can't
out.
smoke it.
And so he ashed it in a drug bag and then put the cigarette bud in the bag, and then he had to keep that bag.
Oh, dude.
That's
I
what
remember-
that's what I would have done is just smoked it and kept the butt.
I would
eventually.
I remember I would go so far out on acid, I would get really confused, and I would always have some sort of totem that would lock me back to the real world. That was the game we played. I remember my friend Tina had a smashed Matchbox car that she had found before she started tripping, and man, at one point Jeff had taken that car into the world. I mean, just people having psychotic fits. She was like, my car, my car. And they're like, you didn't drive. My car. I'll never be able to get home without my car. And Jeff's like, I got her car. And I'm like, dude, you're a dick.
Yeah, we had a lot of trip toys that were kind of
Like sex toys.
well, no, they were
Oh.
just things you would play with on acid
Yeah.
or mushrooms. Like
They're
the
anchors to
most
the real world.
prized
Yeah.
one was
Yeah.
just this like accordion paper thing that you could twist and fold, but it was
Oh,
made out of paper
yeah.
and it would twist all these weird ways and then bounce back. And
That
Yeah.
was just a lease to the apartment.
I think it was just I literally think it was some weird like party toy from
Yeah.
like a party supply store or something. But it was I don't know. We loved it.
We had one of those pin, like you know those metal pin things you put your face in and it like leaves the
Oh,
imprint.
yeah.
dude, that on fucking
Dude, I remember putting my
What
hand,
are we
you put your
doing,
face
dude?
in that and then set it down and people go, oh.
yeah, dude. I fucking love that. And just putting your face in it, like sometimes you would just put your face in it and just chill there for like
Oh, 'cause
10
the
minutes, dude.
coldness of the
Yeah, it
pins.
felt so good. Dude. We had the metal one too.
Yeah.
Like the old school ones, you know? We're just all just fucking giving each other acne, putting that shit on our fucking faces, dude. Just,
So keep it forever.
yeah,
Who got the Blue Man stick?
me.
Do you still have it?
No, because I got
Dude,
sent
you
to
broke the
rehab.
sacred rule.
Because you what?
I got sent to rehab and everyone stole my stuff.
Oh, sick.
yeah.
They were also playing Steal It Forever.
Yeah, we had because there was also we cleaned out a vacuum cleaner and there was all this dust and someone put it in a Ziploc bag and we go keep it forever and then someone had to keep that shit.
Well, vacuum dust is good to make fires. If you
Yeah.
need to start a fire.
That's true.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff was
Dryer
cool.
lint, too.
Yeah.
Like some of the stuff was cool. Like someone gave me a sword cane.
Like a cane
Yeah,
that
a
you
cane
pop
that you
open
has
and
a sword in
then
it.
you murder people?
Well, they handed it to me and they go keep it forever. I was like, thank you so much. you know, like this is.
What
I
a
am
gr-
the chosen one.
What a great Christmas.
Dude, yeah, the
I
cane
want a
sword.
sword cane that's a sword, and then you pull it apart, and there's
There's a cane in there. That rocks.
Fuck. Well, So yeah, kind of the reason why I wanted to ask about nature is I know that so Eeland, you spend a fair amount of time traveling and fishing.
Yeah.
You love talking about fishing.
Yeah. I hate it.
You do.
What's your favorite? Like,
What's your favorite fish?
not even. I don't want to do that, but I imagine you fish for trout a lot here in
Yeah.
Colorado. What's your favorite trout? Brook, brown, rainbow.
Come on, bro, for the culture, brown.
I love brook trout. They're delicious.
Yeah.
Brown trout are aggressive. I like in Colorado. We have 4 species of native cutthroat. So I
Okay.
like cutthroat trout. Yeah.
I don't know anything about cutthroat trout. What's the difference?
They have like a red mark like right underneath their gills, and they have spots, but only towards like the back of the fish.
Okay.
Like the ass of the fish. So it's a cool looking fish, and we have 4 species in Colorado. So
Okay.
and those are the only fish native to Colorado. Brown trout, rainbow trout, and brook trout aren't supposed to be here.
Where'd they come from? Just introduced.
Yeah, Germany, the East Coast.
So they're not
one
native to
night-
America.
No.
People were just walking by a river and they're like, "Is that something brown out there?" And,
Yeah.
We got to invade this with other species.
and it was a trout.
Yeah. They're like,
That's
"This
really
is
funny.
The same thing.
We should start doing that.
No, it's
Just
sad.
introducing species to other places.
I think we should do that. That's how
should?
the carp got to everywhere in the world, and it's only an Asian species.
Really?
Yeah, common carp is not native to anywhere in the world besides Asia.
So you're saying you're anti-immigration for
Asian?
fish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
think we
strict
should
borders for fish.
Lock all borders.
Okay.
Yeah.
And keep them out.
So carp are a lot.
We
of
got to build a
times-
wall around these ponds.
Yes.
Were bait fish that were released, weren't they?
What carp?
Carp.
No, when people moved to America, they were like, "Oh man, there's this." They used to eat them. They were like, "Oh, there's this big fish.
Carp is delicious.
They can eat. They can grow anywhere. They're a piece of shit fish
Yeah.
that'll eat anything." And so they were like, "Oh, we can eat these fish." And so they stocked them everywhere. And then they just
Have you eaten carp?
no, they're just.
I have.
They look. I've heard they're disgusting.
What about crappie?
It's not terrible
Crappie's
if
good.
you. I mean, if you fry it, it's fried fish, and it
Yeah.
doesn't have like a strong fishy taste. But there's like it's weird because there's almost like a line on them where you can
Yeah.
see that they're just like, it's just like gross.
Yeah. Well, they live in.
They feed off the bottom. They're
It's like
placostomus.
catfish.
They-
People love catfish, but I just feel like it's
Bro,
gross.
catfish rocks. Have you been
Catfish is
noodling?
delicious. I would love to go noodling.
Dude, I'd
That's
go
like
noodling
my
with you.
dream to do.
Have
do
you
it.
noodled?
No, but I would.
I would noodle.
I've only gone fishing once with this guy, and he won't take me ever again. Even I ask him every week.
Yeah, it sucked.
I need a hobby, bro.
Yeah.
No.
You
So
do
was
need a
he?
hobby.
Was he really needy? Did he not? Was he getting
He
his
just
line
doesn't-
caught all the
doesn't
time?
listen.
Was he?
Yeah,
I,
he doesn't
what do you mean? I
listen.
caught a fish.
Yeah, he just doesn't listen. Fly fishing is very easy, but he just doesn't.
I've heard
listen
fly
to it.
fishing is very hard.
You make me
Really?
nervous, though.
But I've not done it. There's a technique to it, right?
Yeah, but it's people oversimplify it. I mean, people overcomplicate it. It's really simple, but
But you're also like, it was like opening for like Chappelle or something. You know what I mean? Like you're the guy. You're the fishing guy.
You're
I
the
was
Chappelle
nervous.
of fishing.
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
no.
bro.
I fucking wish.
You're the Louis C.K. of fishing.
Oh, dude, yeah, you should get underwater. They are trying to cancel your ass.
Yeah.
But I know you do a lot of fishing. Do you camp? Do you hike? Do you?
Yeah, I don't hike. I think it's
You love
stupid.
14ers.
I fucking hate hiking. I like camping, but with a purpose of like I'm going fishing also.
Yeah.
So you don't mind sleeping on the ground?
Love sleeping on the ground.
Yeah?
Yeah, love sleeping on the ground. Love looking at stars.
See, that's why I want to fish so bad. Because
Love
like what you
birding.
just said
I love going birding.
about
Birding?
Yeah,
That's fucking weird, dude.
looking at birds.
Do birds and fish don't get along?
Yeah, but he's cool with everybody.
Yeah, I don't think
He has
there's like
no
a race. I don't
alliance.
think there's like
Yeah.
a race war or anything.
But he also wants the same thing. He's
What's
catching
your-
the fish just
So
like
what's
the
your
birds.
favorite bird?
Bohemian waxwing.
Okay, god damn it.
Yeah.
I gotta look that up.
It sounds like a pretty hippie bird.
Yeah.
That does.
Bohemian
That's the
waxwing.
official bird of this podcast for sure.
Mama, I just flew away.
But what you said though, it's like about like camping with fishing. That's why I want to like learn how to fish because like I just sitting out there, just being like, especially since
Yeah,
I'm like
just
sober
camping
too.
sucks.
Like being sober and just sitting out there, just like, cause you either have to be hammered or doing something.
Not necessarily.
But like that's what I mean generally. I just feel like if I just sit out there, I'm just like, oh, I fucking like. Look, what do I like? I don't know what to do with
but
myself.
I know that's the point of like
Yeah.
going out into nature. It's like what to do with my, like you don't have to do anything.
when
just
you're fishing,
involved.
you're doing something.
Yeah, but you
So
don't
be
have to
alone
be
with
doing
your
it.
thoughts.
Yeah, you
I'm
just
not
like
gonna do
you're
that.
part of nature. You don't have to be on your phone or listen to music or do it. You could just be there, like be a part of it.
That's so weird.
Be
It's tight.
here now.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could be there then.
Wow.
Wow.
I feel like I would need a gun.
Okay.
we
gun?
have guns. We do
Yeah.
have guns. I take guns with me and we shoot.
Because
sometimes.
do you take God damn it. Do you take guns for protection or for just
Sometimes I take them for white people. Sometimes I take them for just to shoot. Just to like, if I'm far enough away, if I know my camp spot and I'm like, oh yeah, there's not people around, I'll go set up cans or whatever and I'll shoot.
Dude,
Shoot.
my buddy Bill in Wyoming, we shot some assault rifles
So fun.
just into a scree field. And I mean,
What's
it's
a
neat.
scree field?
It's just like rock slides on the
Yeah.
side of a mountain.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
when you hit it and it's far enough distance, you can hit it and then watch some of them move down.
Yeah.
It was fun. I mean, we were
It
like
is.
9 miles in the back country.
Yeah, my friend he was in the army and I don't know how, but they let him
They
come
let
back
anybody in.
with ARs
Oh.
and then a couple grenades, and we were up in the mountains and we like took his ARs and grenades and we were just like throwing them into this lake.
My buddy I went to high school with, his brother brought home a fucking like RPG.
Yeah, they
Like,
just let him, and he was like, I was like, do they let you keep it? He's like, yeah, I got to bring them back, but
But the thing is if you have assault rifles and grenades and you're like, I'm taking these home, they have to think twice about going, no.
yeah, but I don't think I think they're just like, yeah, well,
I mean, you can buy grenades.
You can?
really.
Where?
Yeah, I
Live?
don't know. Every military surplus store I feel like has grenades.
But are they live or are they like
Toy
props?
grenades?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've just
We
seen
should
them.
find
Those are
out.
lighters.
That's for 4th of
I'll
July.
say this. Maybe not in Colorado. You can for sure buy grenades in Texas, I imagine.
Wyoming, I bet you get a grenade.
We'll be there in October. We should try to buy a grenade.
Okay, and fly back with it.
We should buy it, put it on the stage.
Dude,
As-
you could grenade fish.
And so,
So my buddy's uncle in South Dakota and Martin used to dynamite fish.
oh yeah, they used to
Yeah.
blow fish the fuck up. Like that's how they would catch fish. And even if the fish wasn't close, the sound of the explosion in the water
Kills the
would
fish?
pop their
Their
air bladder,
air
their
bladder,
gallbladder,
yeah.
and then they would just float up to the surface, and you would just scoop them up. And,
Really?
Yeah, they
it's
throw the
insane.
dynamite in and then drive around in the boat and just pick up all the fish that floated to the top.
What are you doing with all that fish?
Eat it, sell it.
Yeah,
Eat it, sell it, fuck it.
Fertilizer.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck that fish.
Use it for bait for a bigger fish.
I just saw a video of a dolphin in some aquarium, and it like ripped this fish's head off.
Yeah.
So it was like just a body cavity,
Yeah.
and then puts it on the floor up against the glass,
Oh,
and
no.
then takes its dick and like puts it inside the fish, and then swims around.
Oh
with
yeah,
the
dolphins are fucked up, man.
Dude, so
Yeah.
a dolphin is creating the first
Fish light.
fish light.
Yeah,
Fish
yeah.
light. Yeah, fish
Yeah,
light.
that's good.
Wow.
Pretty insane.
I think we should
Damn.
start eating dolphins.
Dolphins, it's weird. They just have like it's almost like they have like a cargo bay door where their dick is. It's just like,
Yeah.
and it like
Yeah.
opens and then their dick goes out.
It just comes out. BK's like, what is that? It's a blue man drumstick.
Glowing.
So, we were talking about guns there. Guns or flowers? If you had to pick one.
Is there any context, or is it just?
It's context is whatever's in your mind.
Can't kill myself with a flower.
You absolutely can. You just got to get the right flower.
If I was allergic.
Yeah, there's a lot of flowers that can
There's a lot of flowers that can
Really?
kill you. Yeah.
Poppies.
Oh, Nightshade, right?
Yeah.
Or
There's
is
a lot
that
of
just from
flowers.
James Bond? I don't know.
The gimpy down in Australia.
I feel like it's crazy that any Australians are alive with like what goes down there.
Well, the gimpy has such like strong stinging nettles on it.
It also has a ball gag strapped into its mouth.
Where if you get it on you, a
Uh-huh.
lot of times they have to tie those people down for like months because the pain is so bad that
Jesus
they'll just
Christ.
fucking kill
Scratch
themselves.
or
Yeah.
scratch through their skin.
Yeah, and like there's like a story of like an explorer that was going through there and like grabbed some and wiped his ass with it,
Oh, dude.
and then immediately blew his brains out.
Yeah.
Flowers are good.
So that's a flower gun combo.
Yeah, that really is. Yeah. It's both. I don't know, probably flowers. I don't have any guns. I'd like some though.
I love guns.
I know.
I'm gonna go get a gun tomorrow.
Yeah, let me
So
go with you.
both are going guns?
No,
Are you
BK
a-
went flowers.
Yeah, I want flowers.
I would probably go flowers also.
Okay. Do you have
Fuck yeah.
Do you have a backcountry pistol?
Yeah, I have a Smith and Wesson SMP, the Shield, the 2.0.
Okay.
Oh.
Is it a revolver?
No,
No.
it's semi-automatic.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
I've
a little big, so I'm gonna go get something small.
Well, that's I think it's a Glock
The Glock
Glock
40X?
10.
Oh, okay.
The Glock 10 is a semi-automatic bear pistol.
Oh,
So it's
sweet.
what's known to. It's got enough kick to kind of scare a bear off.
Yeah,
But,
in Colorado, I'm not really afraid of bears. Like I've used to
Yeah.
work with bears, and like not really afraid of bears charging or stealing anything.
Yeah, it's more like once you get into northern states, closer to like Yellowstone,
Yeah,
Montana, Wyoming.
if I'm in Montana, northern Wyoming, then I bring my shotgun with me, my Mossberg 500. Yeah,
That's nice because you're gonna have a big spread. I've heard that, like in the Forest Service, if you're in the backcountry where there are bears, a 357 I think is the smallest caliber
Yeah.
they'll allow you to carry, and then a 44 is it's gonna have a lot of kick. But
yeah, that's a fucking cannon.
yeah.
Yeah, 357 is a cannon too.
But the nice thing about a 357 is you can also you can put a 38 round in it.
Hmm.
So a 357 can be used for, I think it's or maybe it's a 38 special.
That you can switch ammo.
You can switch ammo.
Yeah.
The chamber will hold the same thing. So you could use a 38 round for like home protection.
Yeah.
And then if you're going in the backcountry, you put a 357 round in there.
Yeah.
Sounds like you guys choose.
I haven't held any of those guns since I was a teenager.
Yeah. I used to have a 45.
They were so my buddies robbed the head of the South Dakota NRA's house.
Sick. That's baller, dude.
Fuck.
Yeah, when we were kids, and stole
Zach was a real outlaw as a child.
stole so much shit. But what's funny is that like my buddy was just like this punk kid or whatever, and his parents. What happened was we were supposed to have a party at his house because there was like it was like we had a half day of school, and at noon we were all going to go to his house and we were going to get fucked up, and he had a keg in his closet and he had something else, and he was doing something stupid where he was like trying to tap the keg in the morning or something, and his dad fucking caught him and then went through his whole closet. But it was like he found a keg, he found some booze, he found basic party supplies, and then he just found a 357 Magnum. like what the fuck is my son into?
Yeah.
And our whole thing is why we stole guns is because you could sell them.
Yeah.
You know, like they were just worth money. So like when we were robbing houses,
That makes it better. It makes it
Yeah,
better that
yeah,
you were
yeah.
just looking
Yeah.
for money.
For profit. Yeah.
I actually
Well-
couldn't think of any other reason to steal guns.
well, we didn't
I guess they
think about
kill
it, but I
people.
mean, I think they stole 6 handguns from that guy's house when they robbed it,
Yeah.
and fucking, I think the cops only recovered because they were looking for him, and
Yeah.
a bunch of people got in trouble and whatever. I think the cops recovered like 2 of the 6 guns.
When you say trouble, like what, like jail, right? Like prison.
What do you mean?
Well, you're under 18, so
No.
That's so
days.
many guns to steal, though. That's like got to be like a couple $1,000s, right?
Well, I don't think they ever knew who stole them. They just started finding the guns, and if you have a gun, you can be like, "Oh, well, I bought this
From some guy, yeah,
guy on the
gotcha.
street." You know,
Oh, I
'cause
didn't know it was stolen.
Fucking in
Okay.
the '90s, you could just buy a fucking. There's even less restrictions.
Gotcha.
You know? So like,
The good old days.
I bought this.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean, you can buy a gun now.
why
I have
will
a friend.
you?
If you want to buy a gun, he can get you a gun.
I mean, yeah, you can still like. I don't know. A few years ago, my buddy knew this guy that just would show up, and he had a trunk full of guns, and you could just buy whatever the.
That's
serial number's
Kinda
been
tight.
shaved off.
yeah.
Well, they had serial numbers on them. You know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
At that point, you're like, I don't care. I got a gun.
So,
Here's one. A couple of new ones. Snakes or spiders?
Snakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like spiders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They eat bugs. I don't like bugs that much.
I don't really dislike either of them.
Yeah, I don't dislike either of them, but I would have to choose spiders.
I'd be more scared if I saw a spider than a snake.
Really?
Yeah.
I've caught a lot more
that
spider or snakes than spiders in my life.
Well, if a snake was in my house, I wouldn't love that. But like, if I'm just out and about, if I see a snake, I'm like, that's pretty cool. But if I see a spider, I'm like, I'll have a reaction.
I don't fuck with spiders in my house.
Well, they eat all the bugs. They're like
Yeah.
the little.
I get my girlfriend to put them outside.
You get your girlfriend to put the spiders outside.
Yeah, for sure. Always, every time.
I try not to kill things just as a
Yeah.
mindset of like, oh, that might be my grandma coming to say hello.
Yeah.
But-
I really have to do that.
He kills it just because it might be. It's like, is that my grandma? Stomp, stomp.
Yeah.
I told you I don't like that dish.
That's for the $10 for Christmas,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Jesus.
The only times I have problems with spiders is if, or bugs in general. Like if they're in the tub,
Oof.
sometimes I got problems. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. You've invaded my space and you're going down
But the tub,
drain.
they tried to get out. Have you If you're something so small inside a tub, it can't get out.
I know, but it's just like I don't know. When you're nude and then there's a spider and you're starting to wash and then it just goes. Shh, I go, no, this.
Oh yeah. Okay,
this isn't happening.
If a spider comes from the ceiling, then you're like,
if
okay.
they come at you, that's a whole nother thing.
But also, if
I'm
a
always
snake,
like, it's gonna turn into Peter Parker and this guy's gonna get me.
if a snake comes from the ceiling, also, you should be like, hey, there's something wrong.
There's a little kid in Texas, obviously fucking idiots from there, but no, I'm just.
Whoa! When you were like, there's a little kid from Texas. I was like, BK?
Yeah.
No, but he almost died because he let a black widow bite him because he wanted to turn into Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's very Texas behavior. The problem with a place like Texas
And
is
he would only
say
save white people.
Yeah.
We used to catch tarantulas in Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're very.
There's some in southern Colorado right now starting to move for
Really?
the fall. Yeah.
They're pretty easy to flood out.
Yeah.
So
Dude.
you take a water hose,
Yeah.
you put them in the hole,
Yeah,
and
you
then they
waterboard
back
them.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost went camping one time, and I drove to the campsite, and I saw 7 like tarantulas crossing the street, and then I turned around and I went home.
Yeah, well, they're just trying to go to fuck. That's all they're
I
trying
know.
to do. They're just trying to find.
Everybody's like,
some
"Where'd you
clothes.
go?" I was like, "I saw the tarantulas.
I
You guys
saw the
didn't tell me
tarantulas.
about that."
They were heading to the club.
Yeah.
If you grab it, I was very squeamish when I did this, but if you grab a tarantula by its back end and pick it up, its legs do this,
Yeah.
and then it just freezes
what I
because
do
its legs
too.
aren't on anything. It doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I'm not proud of this, but at like 14 years old, I was told, and I tested it. Like if you hold a spider like that up at about 5 feet or so, and let it go, the legs aren't heavy enough to hold its abdomen, so it'll just kind of pops. I said I wasn't proud of it.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't really splat. It just kind of goes, and you go, it's just kind of like, God damn it.
Did you guys ever freeze a bee
No.
and tie it on a leash?
No.
What? No.
So
That's like a Theo Von story. Like,
if you catch a bee and put it in a jar and put it in the freezer, the bee will fall asleep because it'll hibernate because it's cold or whatever. And then while it's asleep, you can tie a string to one of its legs, and then it'll wake up and you can fly it around on a leash.
Won't it just sting you?
No, it's kind of like, what the fuck?
I feel like I
it
remember.
went to sleep and it woke up.
It's trying to get away.
It went to sleep and it woke up in slavery.
Was it?
Yeah, I woke up and
feel like,
saw.
I feel like someone did that to like a horsefly or something when I was younger.
You could probably do it to a lot of insects because I think a lot of them, when it gets to a certain temperature of cold, they just shut down.
You guys should make that merch for the
It's just,
pod.
just a weird kid that I grew up with, and he was always like, I feel like I just remember him going, you can put a stiff stick of grass or something in a fly's ass, and it'll just go.
We learned it. We learned it, I think, from one of the.
I don't know. I have a memory of that, but I was also doing a lot of nitrous.
I think the bees thing we learned from like the prior Jackass thing, like CSKY or whatever.
CKY?
CKY,
yeah. But
Quilts or like crochet.
Quilts or crochet?
Yeah.
I
quilts.
don't even know the fucking
Depends on
difference.
what. If it's for sleeping, then definitely quilts. If it's for clothing, then it's crochet.
Oh wow. Crochet shorts, just let the head hang out.
Oh,
huh?
yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Crochet is like think of like a grandma square yarned
Oh, I like those
Like a-
blankets. I like crochet.
crochet.
Yeah.
Imagine someone in therapy.
You?
Yeah.
plugs.
Oh yeah. Big announcement coming up. My album is now out for pre-sale.
Let's go.
Please check that out. I'm super excited about it. Too Fast for Rain. Cover art done by Robert Marks, who you heard on the last episode. You can find all my dates coming up at ajfinney.com. Follow me on all the socials. And Zach, what do you have going on?
I got an album coming out too. You can find that on the Hippie Not Hippie pod. Pre-sales for both of us. Pick those both up. All my dates at ZachMaas, ZACMAAS.com. And follow me on socials at MAAS Comedy. And what do you guys have?
Well, I think everyone listening should listen to both your albums and then compare
Yeah,
them
dude.
and judge you guys and say who is their favorite. So listen to both albums and then
Jesus,
message
man, that
the
is
podcast
intense.
and
I love how
say-
you're like, hey, judge him, see which one you like.
Listen
Are
to
you a
both of
moss
them
head
and
or a
then
fin
judge-
head?
And also, message one of them being like, hey, I liked yours. And messaged the other one saying, you were good too.
Yeah.
The other person doesn't know what they did.
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
get the message. He goes, I enjoyed yours also. And you're
Yeah.
like, God damn it.
Yeah.
What do you got going on, BK?
Oh, Insane Brown Posse on Instagram. I'm going to start streaming on Twitch again. We got that podcast.
Where can they find the podcast on all streaming networks?
Yeah, so it's not out yet because we recorded 2 episodes. We're going to record a couple more and then put them out
Bank
on
'em.
Spotify and stuff.
If you like Degrassi too, he's got a.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if we're still doing that podcast. We haven't done it in a while, but
You have some.
yeah, we do. Yeah, listen to it.
And also, BK and I used to have a podcast on Spotify. Don't listen to that one.
It's actually really funny. Oh, actually, please watch my Don't Tell taping on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Don't Tell. BK has a Don't Tell special. Please check it out.
Nice.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Did you guys also both do the OnlyFans thing?
No, Eeland did OnlyFans.
I did OnlyFans.
Yeah, he did OnlyFans. I did Don't
This
Tell.
guy messaged me yesterday and said on OnlyFans.
I saw
he
your
was-
brown trout.
He was. He
that
said
makes-
pretty much. He was like, I thought I would see more dick. Because on my
He came
OnlyFans,
for noodling.
on my OnlyFans, I post like stand up clips and some like fishing
Yeah.
videos or whatever. And then the guy was just like, I thought I would see more dick on this page.
You should
And I
do
was
your
like,
stand up barefoot.
I'm not gonna
Those
do
feet
that.
freaks.
Yeah. So.
Oh, yeah, plug your shit.
I don't really have anything to play. I have a web series called Comedians on the Fly where I take comedians fly fishing. That's
My
on
episode's
YouTube.
the best one.
That's on YouTube and Instagram. Some cool episodes coming out this fall, so check that out. Follow me on Instagram at Black Steve Irwin or Eeland Stribling. You can find them both there, and that's about it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think you wanna vote on these?
Are we just going which one's more?
I like that. I like comparing myself to BK.
No, I know. I'd like when you're like compare your albums and tell me who's better. I was like what you would want to do if you and BK both put an album out at the same time.
For sure.
You should just do a split album and then go, and it's just called "Which one did you like more?"
Yeah.
It's honestly a very tough one.
What's the question?
Well,
Which one of you is a bigger hippie?
Oh.
We have to decide now.
Yeah.
That's the whole
Interesting.
basis
It's the
of the
podcast,
podcast.
but-
that's the whole breakdown. It's pretty rough.
Well, BK's super into drugs.
No, I'd say like in the past, I definitely was the bigger hippie because I used to carry rocks in my pocket for my brain.
See, now he's just adding stuff to
Yeah.
put him in that level.
But you on the nature end of things,
I'm very calm. I'm very a part of it.
kill him on that.
But he's also bad at feelings.
I'm great at feelings.
You're
I'm very
definitely
emotional.
Not, bro. You keep
I'm very sensitive.
you keep it to
I
your
think
damn
we're
self.
watching your podcast. It's not been released. Break up.
I'm very sensitive.
No, we know you're sensitive, but you don't talk about it. You
Yeah.
just lash out.
No, I just keep it inside.
It comes out all the time.
Like a Blue Man drumstick.
Yeah, you
Keep it forever.
Yeah.
You just play Keep It Forever with feelings.
Exactly.
All right.
All right. Ready?
3,
2,
2,
1. BK.
Oh,
Yeah, cool.
Got a
Well,
solid
love it.
cusp. I went with BK because I also know about how much he enjoyed Ram Dass and some of the spiritual stuff like that.
well, he's
So-
Indian, so that doesn't count. That's naturally.
Yeah, hippies just stole his culture.
Yeah, so that doesn't count. If he is naturally acclaimed to that stuff, and that
I'm attuned.
Well, also I was on the cusp, and then when you were like, I used to be, but as soon as you said rocks in my pocket, I was like, wait, and you said for my brain, I was like, decided. Why did you go with Eeland?
I went with Eeland because of his connection to nature.
Yeah.
Nice, solid.
Yeah.
I
know-
was hoping it was going to be like, it's the Afghan. The Afghan.
I know when it's gonna rain before it rains, weeks ahead.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can feel it in my bones.
Cool. Well, yeah. Are you guys down to hang out for a while?
Yeah.
Talk some more for the Patreon.
Yeah, I got him. So
Let's get weird.
yeah, so
You want to close this one out?
Yeah. Thanks so much for listening. Like, subscribe, follow, and get on the
Motherfucking.
Well, I met you down around Mexico.
Is one episode a week not enough for you?
Are you jonesing for exclusive episodes?
Then throw in a $5 and get on the Hippie Not Hippie Patreon bus.
You'll get early access to weekly episodes.
Plus, exclusive Patreon-only episodes every week.
Thanks for getting on the motherfucking